Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a video walkthrough of the Epstein property with commentary. This video was taken by the Palm Beach Police Department on October 18th, 2005. And note, he has his gun drawn. They aren't playing around. I'm sure they're serving the warrant here. Tell me why all these pedophiles always have black and white checkerboard flooring in the kitchen. Tell me why. If you ever go to somebody's house and find black and white flooring in the kitchen, you just run. Just run for your life. I wonder what's in these boxes here on the right side of the garage. So this is I guess a typical 3-car garage, but for Palm Beach it does seem kind of small. And here's the infamous kitchen that's mentioned so much in the victims' audio testimonies. And note, you can also see more of the photos in this video than you can see in the released photos from the DOJ that have many things redacted. I started feeling very ill. Now, mind you, this is the 5th video I've made today, but I realized it was because of the shaky camera angle. So if you start feeling a little sick to your stomach, push pause, because this sure can make you feel really sick. Check out the creepy statue. It's like I don't know if it's like a naked man hunting or something. It's just weird. And the person's blindfolded, but they look like they're an archer. I'm sure I should know probably what this is supposed to be, but he's so warped, who knows? You know, he's so important, so he has to have all these printers and all these fax machines and desks, and, you know, he's a real important VIP here, sarcasm included. Here's Jeffrey and his lady Ghislaine. Anytime you want to think she was out of his life in 2005, just take a gander back at this video and she's in every other framed photo, so that's my opinion. You have to keep in mind this video is 20 years old, so they didn't have video stabilizers, or at least they didn't for the regular handheld, probably for the Palm Beach PD, so hence shaky. This looks like house drafts, and you'll see that somebody was playing decorator. You'll see that later on, so you'll see swatches and all kinds of things laid out. Here are the swatches on the ground, decorators, fabrics, and paint colors, and the like. I'ma say it, tacky. Again, someone playing decorator. Bet it was Ghislaine, in my opinion. And it's okay to watch this and be totally angry as well. I've been reading victims' statements and things that were released by the DOJ, and I'm just so disgusted. And this is his Palm Beach estate. If I hadn't mentioned that already, it's the Brillo Way house. You can also see the palm trees outside the window. Epstein had pads in Manhattan. I believe that was one of them was Lex Wexner's previous abode, and a pad in New Mexico, or a whole compound there, a place in Paris, Palm Beach, this residence, and on and on. So don't let the government or anybody fool you into thinking there isn't evidence all over the place. These places were raided. They took evidence. They took documents. They took computers. Think about it. Walkthroughs are great for so many reasons. For instance, the police can show how they found evidence, how things looked at that very moment in time, how they didn't tear things up, and so on and so forth. I just want to say this house is extremely neat and clean. So kudos to the house cleaner. And there's the island on the wall. Gosh, that must have puffed up his ego to be able to see a big-ass picture of his island in his Palm Beach place. More computers, video, etc. So here's a key safe. So not only do you have a shit ton of keys, you have a safe to hold said keys. Because you have all these properties too. And all these vehicles at all these properties. And probably safes at the different properties. Think about it. Also, I saw self-storage. Did they ever raid a storage unit? Hit me up in the comments. Surely they seized that, right? Where's the evidence? Also, keep in mind, this was the residence they scored all the trash pulls from. I mean, reams of trash pulls. Trash pulls are when your trash goes out to the curb and then it becomes public property, and it got seized. I think it was the FBI that took it. Could have been the Palm Beach Police Department, but I believe it was the FBI. On which they found all these little messages, you know, like where back in the day you used to have someone call in, like on your landline or whatever, or your little cordless phone, and you take a pink slip message. So it'd be like, Jeffrey wants, do you want two twins, you know, age XYZ, you know, from Jean-Luc type crap. That's the kind of crap that was on the trash pulls. Can you believe it? It's the truth. For whatever reason, the mainstream media just is not covering this properly. Back in the day, this would have been all over everything, with in-depth reports, with full coverage, wall-to-wall, all the details. It's A, so heinous, and B, so covered up on so many fronts. So I feel so bad for the girls who walked up these steps right here to their fate, lured right into his lair. I believe that places hold vibes, and this place holds bad vibes. Like, burn it to the ground vibes, in my opinion. It's so, I don't know, plain, aesthetically clean up here. Almost like the banality of evil. It's just so banal. It's too deceptively clean. It's too deceptively white and plain. It's deceptive. It's there's something bad about this. I bet you this is Jeffrey's bedroom, if I had to guess. Okay, that art piece is a choice. Here's another high-end hotel room. You know what I mean? It's like a high-end hotel in a high-end bathroom. Just has no personality whatsoever. Actually, I've seen high-end hotels with more personality. Looks like someone probably uses this bathroom because there's more products on the counter. Like actively being used, not just for show. The Taj Mahal, are you serious? Oh my gosh. Well, he likes him a white bedroom. White, white, white. Symbol of purity, of virginity, huh? I always think it's weird when you have a couch, like, facing a bed like that. I mean, I understand sometimes people want a place to relax, but having a couch facing a bed is like, what are you doing? Having an audience? It's just weird. Another white bedroom. So is that supposed to be a beach scene looking through a window, or is it a prison? Or both? You decide. So that art works on both sides of the room? This dude is weird. My first degree is in art, so I am going to notice it, but I am also going to call it out. Weird. A different view of the staircase of doom. The upstairs of the house is where the victims were lured to give him massages. So that's why the upstairs is so important here. Yeah, the artwork's like priming the viewer to what they're going to be in for, in my opinion. Can you imagine being a teenager, just not knowing what you're getting yourself into, and then you're in this trap? It must have literally been a horror. I don't know if you notice the psychology in lots of his houses. He'll have a desk with, of course, a chair at your desk, but he loves to have like two chairs on the other side, like he's some big boss man that's going to be telling people in the chairs opposite him, facing him, what he needs doing. You know what I mean? It's a psychological thing. And I could be wrong, but I believe that painting is one of the farmer's works. The girl, I think it's Maria Farmer. Oh my god, Lady Ghislaine with pride of place in what? The master bedroom? This must be the master. I was wrong before. This is the dreaded massage area. Also, you can see a tub there, and I don't know what else is. You can maybe have a facial or something. I don't know what they're going to do with that freaking magnifying mirror. I just shudder to think, really. And look how thick those drapes are, too. And I wouldn't be surprised if you pulled back the drapes and there were also shutters as well. So he wanted this area all blacked out for his doings and no one peeping in to see what he was up to. Yeah, this is the master suite right here. I was incorrect before. See, I'm actually just looking at this for the first time, even though I've read the case files as much as I can, as everything's been made public record, and I've been interested in this file since 2005. And you may ask how. Well, I'm a Floridian, and they actually broke this case. The Palm Beach Police Department did make an arrest, and it did make news. So it was such a strange tale about the young girls going over there and getting these weird massages and what they said about his private parts. It made the news. And I want to say it was on the Smoking Gun, and that's where I read it the first time. And then I read the Palm Beach News. So this is outside his residence, out by the pool. This seems to be a home gym. Now, can you imagine how much evidence would have been left behind to be corroborated by all the different witnesses if he didn't have live-in housekeepers and house cleaners all the time and all this staff? If it was just a normal scuzzbag? He always has to have a pad and a pen or something to write on in every room, like he's going to have all these brilliant thoughts that have to be captured. I mean, the conceit on this dude, right? I've written 2 books. I don't have pads of paper and pens in every room of my house. Just saying. Especially not like laying out on every counter as if every thought that pops into my skull is worth recording forever, you know? I mean, the guy is just conceited as hell. I have to admit, I never knew the water was right there. Again, in a walkthrough, they're just going to go through everything, regardless of whether it seems like it's going to be evidence or not. This is just to make sure everything is as is. That's all. If I had to guess, I guess somebody went through and cleared these buildings. Yeah, with their guns drawn, like you saw in the first frames of this video. Yes, this is serious. These little girls went in here and testified under oath to the police department. You know, they swore under oath to what they said, that these things were done to them. And these police are taking this seriously. Unlike how it's been taken in the next interceding 20 years. This was taken really seriously initially. And I think we all know what happened with the absolutely unbelievable plea deal and the allegation allegedly that he was working for the government or something. So therefore, I don't know, don't prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law and let him go to jail on this ridiculous lowball count and, you know, do his time at night and get out on like work, you know, during the day and just sleep in the jail at night. Not even prison, jail. He just slept in the jail at night for a little while, and, you know, it was just ridiculous. I think he's still offended during that time period as well. He also had 2 planes almost, I think, at all times. I'm not saying they were always functional, but he had I think it was called a Gulfstream, and I think he had 2 different ones of those in addition to the Lolita Express. So there, I don't know, 3 different planes that are involved with flight logs. Don't just think that they're just the one. There's always more to the story. Now, see, these more, I'd say, like a guest building, like the outbuilding, has more personality than inside the house, which is kind of weird, isn't it? It must be nice to have, say, a picture of your entire island, a long wall picture of your island, of your own island at your Palm Beach residence. The scumbag liked hands, and he liked hands on body parts, and he wanted you to know it. And you saw that reflected in his art. More office stuff. Again, you're going to have more computers to seize and be seized, and be investigated and put into the record and saved for evidence and la di da di da. Where is it all? Where is it? Hello? Who is it? Seriously, could we go back in time and pick that up? You just want to scream, "Give it up! Your buddy's house is being raided! Quit calling!" Oh, this may be one of the pilot's residences, or maybe where a pilot stays. He had two pilots that were, well, I can't speak for his whole time, but just from looking at the flight logs. And during a time period, he had two different pilots I know he used. Well, regardless of who stayed in what room or who may be visiting or whatever, who maybe lives there with Jeff, it's all subject to the search warrant that was executed here at this residence. It's all owned by Jeffrey Epstein as a whole, so they can go searching everywhere on this property per the search warrant. If I had to guess, it probably is maybe a place the pilots stay. Something about this smacks of that. I could be wrong. This could be Epstein's extra books, but I don't know. Did he speak Polish? Was he into Polish? The Polish language? I don't know. I think that was one of the pilots. And please feel free to correct me in the comments section if I'm wrong about anything, or if you just want to chime in about anything. Literally a TV in every room.
This is the exit photographs. It is now 2:15 p.m.
Good job, man. Thank you so much for preserving this for the record. You little are you going to know they're going to be watching this 20 years later when it's finally released to the public.